Where do I want to sit? Yeah, yeah. Either one. Yeah, next to, yeah. And you, where do you sit? I'd like to sit there because then I mean, close to there.
Good morning. Welcome.
Some people say we're gonna fade away. Some people say we're gonna... Now I'm going to be moving around a little bit. What I mean is like... Are you going to be behind the camera or are you just going to like stop? Okay. Because you're not going to see, you're not going to get Bodhi in the regular shot, but if you can move it just, yeah, once in a while. Okay, yeah, that would be perfect. Just an occasional Bodhi moment. What's that?
Right there. Right there.
You're great. You're good, man.
Where's something you have?
People say you want to fade away. Fade away. A very short thing, and I would say if everyone is, my hope is at the end of the song we'll get everybody to stand up and sing, maybe even clap. I mean, if you feel it, just like, yeah, do a little bit of it. But remember, like, the people watching the YouTube, stuff like that, yeah, that shouldn't happen because it's going to happen, should happen towards the end, right?
Red. Okay.
What's the next line to rhyme with that? They're going to trust them to you too.
That's it, that's even better. Yeah.
So maybe I'm going to feel you get to do that.
Trust
I might just cue you for that instead of just, I might say Scott. Which is Scott.
This is the microphone.
Yeah. Well,
Doesn't it bounce around like that?
oh, that's a good point. If I'm bouncing around, is it going to make sound? Is it going to screw it up?
That won't make it. That will be all
Are you sure?
right. Well, yeah.
I've never bounced around before. When you've done.
I think that sounds. Let me do a little check. I can hear something on there.
Good. I'm gonna really emphasize bouncing.
It's more like, yeah, when it goes.
Oh, and I should put the. Your concern is when it goes up.
I'd like to turn. Go blue, baby, go blue.
Saying something like that, it makes noise when it goes up and down like that.
Right. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. Golden rule that I learned in school wasn't he who has the gold wants to make rules. Can't worship the dollar, but honor the dove. It's time for the world. Occupy love, occupy love. Fighting greed. Okay, good.
Unless my thing is. Just keep it on because
No, we've got at least 20 minutes.
it's all charged.
Okay,
When let's see, she does the.
We're gonna do the congregational song first, and then she prays us, and then I do the solo. It's like about 10 after 10. The solo. Right after the congregational song.
I'm gonna turn it on. I'll check to be sure it's on.
Good.
Just back up again. Turn it back up.
Yeah.
Well, he turned it off. I turned it off.
I'll put it back in. It's in the monitor. I know, right now, the words.
morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Take this time as a moment to greet your neighbor and neighbors. Well, again, good morning and welcome to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. This would be a good time to turn off anything that transmits energy into the rest of the world, your cell phone, for example. For we know we're already connected fully, we don't need those devices. And they do interfere with the electronics here. I'd like to, again, thank you for being here, for taking this opportunity to explore your spiritual path. Join us in the chant that will be on the wall above me. That will be followed by the spiritual mind treatment by our one and only Reverend Karyl.
Okay, so we have 3 parts here, and Carol's going to lead a part, if she can get that thing to work. Uh-oh. Help. There it is, there it is, there it is. All right. So Carol's going to lead that section over there. We're going to start with the middle section. I'm going to lead that part.
Looks like there's a lot of weight in the midsection.
No, hey. Oh, Scott. How gauche.
And now we'll lead part 3. Let's put all the parts out, and so you can hear all the parts, and then we'll put them together. So the first part is, we'll start with Heaven on Earth. Yeah, Carol's part will be Heaven on Earth. Heaven on Earth. Now the midsection will be lift our hearts into the heavens, lift our hearts here on earth, lift our hearts into the heavens, lift our hearts here on earth. So it's a little, backwards there, but and the third part you'll have me leading that. It goes like this: lift our hearts to the sun, feel the glory of the one. Lift our hearts to the sun, feel the glory of the one. Oh, that glory is kind of high up, isn't it? That glory is on high. All right, so when Karyl will start, and you'll do it a few times, and just keep going with Heaven on Earth, and then Bodhi will kick in with Lift Our Hearts, and then I will kick in. So you guys will have to wait a little bit, or you can sing one of the other parts until we come. When it feels like you got your part, stand up to celebrate that you got your part.
Stand up. We got our part.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're already got their part. They're practicing science of mind principles. Lift our hearts into the heavens, lift our hearts here on earth, lift our hearts into the heavens, lift our hearts here on earth, lift our hearts to the sun, feel the glory of the one, lift our hearts to the sun, feel the glory of the one. Lift our hearts to the sun. Feel the glory of the one. Lift our hearts to the sun. Feel the glory of the one. Lift our hearts to the sun. Feel the glory of the one. Lift our hearts to the sun, Feel the glory of the one. Lift our hearts to the sun. Feel the glory of the one. Lift our hearts to the sun. Feel the everybody, heaven on earth.
Everybody.
Heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. On
That is so beautiful. Well, I'm going to pray in a minute for our sweet Gloria. For those of you who are not aware, or maybe you went to the memorial yesterday, Gloria Kaga, I mean, sprinted off this planet. I am not kidding you. I saw her 8 days ago, Saturday, in the hospital, and she was perky and full of gratitude and tracking and following and talking, and she ran off to home on Tuesday. And so what an amazing, amazing being. And we have some of these cards from the memorial service, along with envelopes for contributing to the Memorial Remembrance Fund to this community. That is what Gloria wanted. And so if you would like to give a special donation in the name of Gloria Kaga, it's right back here at the Heart to Heart table, which reminds me to tell you that the Heart to Heart team is ready to serve you or anyone who is in need and needs a ride, needs a little help at home. They are loving, loving beings with volunteers available, and you can ask for whatever you want. If you want somebody different there to pray with you every day, if you want nobody in the community to know you're sick, whatever you want, they're available to help you. So blessed be on that. And moving right into that wonderful, wonderful feeling of heaven on earth and Gloria, that piece of heaven. Following that thought, knowing that heaven interpenetrates every dimension, because God and only God is real. The infinite source in the spirit realm, the unformed substance, as the activity of creation, and as every single form, including our bodies. It is all divine. It is all holy. It is all God. And that is all there is. I know that my source, my life, my mind, my thoughts come from God. I know there is no separation between the part of God that I call me and everything, everyone. I am connected through God to every single person in this room and in all realms. And so we bring to mind our sweet, dear, precious Gloria Kaga, her smile still so fresh in our minds that we can see it instantly and easily. And knowing that that precious being is alive and well at home, having visited with us on this earth plane for these precious days and weeks and years, and simply has taken an earlier train back home. For that is where we are, that's where our toes are. Our toes are in the infinite realm, and we are immortal now. Not after this transition that we call death, but right now, immortal beings forever and ever, one with everyone else through that infinite presence, the all-originating spirit that I call God. And so I declare this to be good and great and wonderful. And I declare this to be perfect, lacking nothing. The perfect coming, the perfect going, the perfect dash in between, and the perfect immortal life for our beloved Gloria Kaga and each one of us. So I declare life forever in the infinite presence is what we are living right here and right now. I give my thanks for this. And as I release this word into that unformed substance, I know that it lives in a new place, this truth, in each heart. And so it is. Amen. So, in the morning, we pray in the kitchen, the volunteers of the morning, and today we prayed that the circle that we created simply enlarged to welcome all of you this morning. And I'm seeing some faces that I haven't seen for a long time, and I am really, really glad to see you here. So we have Scott Grace Kallichstein as our guest artist today, and Scott has his materials back here at the regular table for artists, and he has this wonderful book. He's an author. He's a singer, songwriter, humorist, lover of life, creative, God spot on this planet, and now an author. Please welcome Scott Kallichstein Grace.
How's everybody doing today? Are you occupying your hearts? It's a movement, you know. I have some friends in the activism world who think that changing the world can only be done by taking it to the streets, and we have lots of people in my life, including myself, that mostly believe that change is about changing your consciousness and then the world will change. But then I think that's either or. How about both?
Yeah.
So here's a song to honor that. It's called Occupy Love. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. From a tiny park to every major city, can you feel the momentum of change? The only thing that's impossible now is for things to stay the same. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. If you or I were caught robbing a bank, we'd go to jail for bank robbery. And now that the banks have been robbing us, they make bail out and go free. But we're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It's time for everyone to have enough. Some folks say we're gonna fade away, that the 1% always prevails. But we're just finding our stride, exploding global-wide, and we're much too big to fail, too big to fail, 'cause we're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. Time for everyone to have enough. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. The golden rule that I learned in school wasn't he who has the gold makes the rules. You can't worship the dollar and honor the dove. It's time for the world to occupy love. Occupy love. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. We're not fighting greed, we're standing up for love. It is time for everyone to have enough. We can have enough when we occupy love. Have enough when we occupy love. We can have enough when we occupy love.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Is it on now? Yay. Good morning. I'm Reverend Judith Flainer and staff minister at this community that I call home. And I want to thank Scott for that song. It reminds me of a realization I had this week, which was a lot of my friends are unemployed. And then I have a lot of friends that work in high tech. And all the ones that are gainfully employed, whether it be in high tech or any place, are completely stressed out, overworked, working 50 hours, trying to figure out how they're going to get it all done. And all my friends that are unemployed are bored, wanting to have something to contribute to society. And so I decided that we actually don't have a supply problem with regards to how many jobs there are out there. We have a distribution problem. So this morning, I'd like to welcome Deborah down here. Come on down as we bless our children. The children today are doing a lesson that is fall into the all. Wouldn't we all like to do that? Just fall into the all. And then once you've fallen into the all, the second part of their lesson is the ripple effect. So let's all do that. Let's just all fall into the all. And now let it ripple out into the world as we bless our children, her learning so that they can teach us. Have great lessons. And now it is my honor here to bring Deborah, who I just want to honor her just a second. Can we all... For those of you who may be here for the first time, this is our tireless youth and family leader who brings so much. And she has such a giving heart. And I think the announcement that she is going to make right now will show you the nature of how this being works.
Well, I would like to first thank you all for bringing books to our used book sale. We extended our book sale for 4 weeks because we had so many fabulous books. And then I have to thank you once again for buying the books that you purchased. And I'd like to report that we made over $600 for our youth and family program. And I'd like to take a moment to, we are tithing, the youth and family is tithing the bookstore. Leslie and Cindy Lou, would you come up here for this, please? We couldn't have done it without them. They closed the regular bookstore so that they could help us with the used bookstore. I tell you, we couldn't have done it without them. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
So that's how tithing works. You receive, you give, you receive. And so I think it's a perfect time to bring Rosemary up, who is going to give an announcement about our Prosperity Plus class that's coming up.
Hi there. I was asked just to speak a little bit on my experience in the Prosperity Plus class that I took. And, well, my first class started with Posey. There she is. And I remember looking at the class, and that was the abundance class. Is that what it was? Yeah, well, it was abundance to me. Anyhow. And there was like a small fee for signing up, and I thought, oh, okay, I could do this. Then I got to class that day, and I thought, and then they want 10% of my money? I didn't see that part, 10%. Well, so I was asked just to, try it. And so I tried it. What I learned in Posey's class, which was even more emphasized in Karyl's class, was that it's not my money, anyhow. It's just a gift from God. It's God's money. He's my employer. and that I was never really thankful for all the things. I mean, I kind of was, you know, but what I learned was like, I get to keep 90% of my money. I get to keep 90% of all that is given to me and just give 10% away. So I started doing it, and then I've continued to do it. And you know, the funny thing is, I haven't missed a meal. Yeah, I haven't not missed a meal. And on top of that, it's not just about the money. It's my relationship with God. It's that trusting, and continuing to trust God. And he continues to show me when I trust and hand whatever it is over, whether it's my money, my checkbook, my kids, my life, that he has a much better plan for me. He just said, let me manage your money, Rosemary, and I'll be damned. He's doing a great job. And just one more thing, you know, again, it's just, I come to church some days thinking, I don't want to go. What am I doing here? I'd rather lay in bed. And every time I leave here, just filled with love and spirit and just transformed. And I thought, you know, no amount of money could bring me this. And the reason I take the class in the middle of the week, and I've continued to do so, and I've re-signed up, is that I don't know about you, but about midweek, that attitude changes. And I need a jump start again. And it has just completely changed my life. So I highly recommend you give this most amazing gift. I mean, you get to spend the time with Karyl. Come on now. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary. And so right over here on this table is the sign up. So if you could, if you're intending to come Tuesday night, sign up here. That'll let us know how many materials to prepare, etc. Anything else you want to say about that? Okay. So we did kind of skipped over the regular gratitude because I brought Deborah down. But today, what we want for our gratitude as we take a look at this beautiful altar that was prepared by our Janet Carol Ryan. I'm forgetting people's names today. Did you notice this? It's because we're all one. Is anyone who participated in Reverend Sarah's Idea Marketplace last week, please stand. Now, I'm having the gratitude go out to you. Well, of course, we're grateful for Reverend Sarah as well, but because it is through the circulation of ideas, which was what that Idea Marketplace was about. And there were a lot more people here because I saw all the little circles. So there's a lot of ideas that are circulating in our community right now. And if you have an idea, add it to the Idea Marketplace. Reverend Sarah is our business and spirituality outreach minister, and she has also on Thursdays, once a month, it's held at El Fanayo, a business and spirituality gathering where you can come together at El Fanayo in the morning and talk with like-minded business people. This week her topic is continuing with the concept of an upliftment that Steve Jobs brought. She is doing it based on his statement, "Your time is so limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life." So come together on Thursday morning at El Fanayo between 8 and 9:30 a.m. to discuss the topic, "Embrace your uniqueness and increase your success and satisfaction." So we welcome you to join her. And also on our board over here, we still have information that is percolating from the big event we had with Michael Beckwith, which is about visioning. And I want you to all look over here. See the orange and black? See, they're orange and black Halloween colors. Halloween is over, so we need them all to be purchased. These are the T-shirts from the Michael Beckwith event. If you haven't seen them yet, be sure to read both front and back. It's a message for the heart. And Sue also wanted me to let you know that we're working on the DVDs from that event. But if you just can't wait till the DVD comes out, this Wednesday, is it this Wednesday, the Visioning for Your Life? Last Wednesday. Oh, well, there is no time in God. So last Wednesday, you were at Visioning for Your Life. And will it be again in December? First Wednesday of every month, we do Visioning for Your Life. And since we're starting to talk about December, what comes in December are a lot of holidays, and they actually start in November, the season of holidays. And this year, our season of holidays will start with Jim and Elizabeth Austin, who have are hosting a Thanksgiving dinner. So the Thanksgiving, stand up so people don't know who you are. It is a tradition in our community that someone takes on having a Thanksgiving dinner in their house for those people that might not have another place to go. So whether you have another place to go and want to also enjoy it with your spiritual community or don't have another place to go, it's always a fun event, and they do need to sign up so that the Austins know how many people are coming and if they need to get additional chairs and plates and all of that. So where's that sign up? On the events tables, again, over with the events. And last but not least, right after Thanksgiving comes the major holiday of Christmas or Hanukkah or any other solstice, all the seasons of lights. And so we have a holiday party that we do for Homeward Bound every year. And how many of you have participated in that in the past? I'm not having you stand up because that would cause almost everybody in the room to stand up. So what I would like to say is that if you want to participate again, you need to sign up. Let us know what you're doing. Are you bringing food? Are you going to be a volunteer on that day? If you're traveling and it can be away and want to still participate, you can always donate money so that somebody else who's willing to cook but doesn't have money for a turkey can buy a turkey and cook, and all of that. So please sign up for that today so that we can know who's participating in what way and then fill in as needed. And looking at my list here, unless somebody can tell me that I've forgotten something, that completes our announcements. And what I would like to do is welcome all of the people who are here for the very first time. Welcome to our community. We hope you find this to be your new home, your place where you feel safe and uplifted. And we'd love to meet you right over here in this corner after church to say hi. If you'd like one, give you a hug and just tell you who you truly are, which is an unrepeatable miracle that is only showing up as you uniquely can. And so we're glad to have you here today. And with that, I will bring forth the true inspiration of the day. God speaking as only God can through our divine being known as Reverend Karyl.
So, Scott, there you are. We have something very important to do. Scott, please come up. Scott is a new member, and he wasn't able to go through the new member orientation, but we have a little mini ceremony right this minute. Scott, do you believe that you are an incarnation of the one life, forever and ever expanding?
Yes.
And do you believe that a life well lived can very well include the philosophy of the science of mind?
Indeed.
And do you promise to love this community and serve it with your time, your talent, and your treasure?
Yes.
And do you all agree to see the absolute divine in this one and include him in family? You planned this. And so what do you bring to this community?
Joy. And I will be your rock of joy.
And so would you just put that on the altar? Yay! Wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, welcome. Yes, absolutely. So I think that the PowerPoint is tired. It's taking a rest, and so we will do without it for the rest of the day, and we'll just feed you the lines to the songs. But we won't need it for a while because I got some wonderful things to share with you. We're in the next to the last month of the year. That means the next to the last chapter in this wonderful book. And the chapter is entitled Creating Frameworks for Possibility. making welcome the possibility of possibility. So, you know, when Michael Beckwith spoke at the convention center in our wonderful, wonderful event a couple of weeks ago, he said, we cannot make anything happen. It's not our job to manipulate circumstances. What we do is we create an environment for something that is our deep heart's desire to come in, and then it does come in. So, in other words, we make the framework for joy. We make the framework for peace to emerge. We be it, we see it, we call it forth, we praise it as it comes in, and we create this environment around us where naturally peace and joy show up. That's the same exact thing that when Gandhi said, be the peace you want to see. So when we create the framework for possibility, we make welcome the deepest desire of our heart for the world that we want to see. So I'm going to read to you one little paragraph from the 11th chapter here, and it speaks to leaders. And I want us all to consider ourselves leaders in bringing forth the world we want to see. So you are all leaders with me. The foremost challenge for leaders today, we suggest, is to maintain the clarity to stand confidently in the abundant universe of possibility, no matter how fierce the competition, no matter how stark the necessity to go for the short-term goal, no matter how fearful people are, and no matter how urgently the wolf may appear to howl at the door. It is to have the courage and persistence to distinguish the downward spiral from the radiant realm of possibility in the face of any challenge. So what we've been doing is learning how to welcome possibility, and now this is when we get to say, you know, even when it's tough, this is especially the time that we welcome possibility. Scott's song was so absolutely perfect. We don't fight against greed, we make a world of love. That's exactly the whole idea here. So my topic is going beyond either or. And what it means is to step up to an entirely different strata where we're not making a choice between this solution and this solution, but we are rising up to a whole new level of possibility where there might be a path that is good for all. And this is exactly what Janet's beautiful altar is about, that out beyond a right and wrong there is a field, and I will meet you there. That is from Rumi. And Einstein said this exact same thing. You cannot solve a problem from the same consciousness that created it. You must learn to see the world anew. So that's what the message is about today, is creating the framework for possibility. And so I have 3 questions that you can use when you want to create this space for possibility. They were going to show up here, but I will put them in the letter that I send out to everybody. And they're very simple questions, and they're basically the same question asked 3 times. So when you are confronted with that wolf appearing to howl at the door, you can ask, what might be a possibility here? Now that sounds like when it's scary, it takes great spiritual fortitude to ask a question like that. But it's the only spiritual answer. To rise up to a new level and asking that question, what might be a possibility here, instead of looking for the best choice of not particularly good solutions. To step up with complete non-judgment and look for something entirely new. So that reminded me of Trauer's wonderful statement of divine mind, where he says, my mind is a center of divine operation. Divine operation is always for expansion and fuller expression, and this means the production of something beyond what has gone before, something entirely new. though not included in the past, but proceeding out of it in an orderly sequence of growth. So we're after something entirely new when we have these dilemmas that look like there's not a particularly good choice. We do this by asking these great questions and accessing a whole new level of seeing, a whole new level of possibility, a whole new world where there very well is the possibility of good for all instead of a win-lose situation. Another question that's, like I said, the same kind of question is, what blessing might be available here? In this situation that looks kind of grim, what blessing might be available here? So this weekend, I had been signed up for quite some time to go to Los Angeles and sit with Mary Mann Morrissey for a wonderful, wonderful workshop. And I went with our new practitioner, Margaret Shebelin, and Lloyd. And so God's calling, it looks like. So one of the things that Mary said is, the content of your life is your curriculum. You know, you can take these classes, but in every single class that we teach, we do not work with hypothetical situations. We work with what you bring to the class, what's going on with you, because if spiritual principle can't help you with what you're doing and in your life, what good is it? It's not particularly good to talk about hypothetical situations with spiritual principles. So what you bring to the class is the curriculum, and that happens to be the content of your life. So if you have a situation in your life that you can't figure out why it's there and you didn't call it forth and all this stuff, it is not there to frustrate you. It actually was welcomed by you in some way, because it doesn't just pop in, that it was created by you to show your own choices. And you can always, always, always make a new choice. And this choice is not just the best of several mediocre choices. It is going to that entirely new place and looking at this from a completely new vantage point. And if that seems impossible to you, I have been in places, I'm telling you, where I am so embroiled in the circumstances that I can't see possibility. And the only prayer I can pray by myself is help. And that's not particularly useful. So when that happens, you go to a practitioner and you ask to be shown the higher level of awareness. Now, does the practitioner know the answer to your life situation? No. I am telling you, they don't. If you're expecting an answer from the practitioner along those lines, that is not what they will give you. But what they will give you is the absolute certainty that in the mind of God, there is a solution that is for the good of all and the harm of none, and they are absolutely positive that that is available to you. And they will hold that knowingness until you find it. And many a time, I have gone to a practitioner and I have not known the answer to what I wanted to know the answer to, but they held that for me, that the solution was there in God's mind. And by golly, it eventually downloaded. And so, and then the next question is, how can I hold this circumstance as an opening to something greater? The circumstances of your life do not predict the outcome. That is absolutely the truth. The circumstances of your life do not predict the outcome for that particular situation or any situation. If it did, people who were in similar circumstances would always have a similar outcome, and it is never that way. Even kids raised in the same household, with the same rules, with the same environment, with the same atmosphere of belief, they turn out differently. Why? Because of consciousness. Bill Cosby once said, I love this so much, it was 20 years ago, in a TV guide. Now, do you remember those? those little magazines that came every week. And I grew up in Tucson, where we only had the TV in the newspaper. But then when I came to visit my aunties in Los Angeles, I had this whole book with all these channels to describe all these old movies. Remember that? Okay. So there was an interview of Bill Cosby, and he said in this interview, "My family was always poor, but I never was." And that was just, bless his heart, something easy for him to wrap his mind around. Now, I'm going to share with you a story of really going beyond either or. And if you know this story because you've read this chapter, just don't shout it out. A little girl in 2nd grade underwent chemotherapy for leukemia. When she returned to school, she wore a scarf to hide the fact that she had lost all her hair. But some of the children pulled it off, and in their nervousness laughed and made fun of her. The little girl was mortified, and that afternoon begged her mother not to make her go back to school. Her mother tried to encourage her, saying, "The other children will get used to it, and anyway, your hair will grow in again soon." So, pausing for a minute in that story, if we were looking for a solution by looking at the circumstances, the ones that came to my mind were, you could take the child out of school, give her a wig and put her in another school. You could lecture the class on how it's not nice to tease. Or you could punish the ones that were the ringleaders. So if we were living in that world with those choices, we are creating a world where something is wrong with baldness, with cancer, and with teasing. That is not a framework for possibility. That is a framework for guilt and punishment. And we have that too much. And how's that been working for us? It doesn't. So I want you, before I read to you what happened, this is such a great teaching story because I want you to think that before you know what happened, there might be an elegant solution that brings blessing to everyone and brings healing and brings wisdom and brings oneness. If we hold that, that's the world we create. That's the framework for possibility. The next morning, when their teacher walked into class, all the children were sitting in their seats, some still tittering about the girl who had no hair, while she shrank into her chair. "Good morning, children," the teacher said, smiling warmly in her familiar way of greeting them. She took off her coat and scarf. Her head was completely shaved. After that, a rash of children begged their parents to let them cut their hair off. And when a child came to class with short hair newly bobbed, all the children laughed merrily, not out of fear, but out of the joy of the game, and everybody's hair grew back at the same time. Oh, right, yeah, that's the world. That is the world we want to create. In that world, all are included, all are connected, and all are blessed. Now, I'm going to tell you a story from closer to home, from right here in this community. When someone leaves this community, there are those of us, and I have been among them, I'm not now, but there are those among us who think there's something wrong. And when people look at old membership directories, they look at all of the people who aren't here. And they imagine that their needs were not met here. And we search for what is wrong so that we can put it in so that those people won't leave. And in that, we have created a framework that it's not okay for people to leave this community and move on. And we keep looking for why is it that some people are unhappy enough to leave. Are you ready to create a new world for us? I'm going to call Lee Glickstein up now.
The great thing about this community is that people heal and sometimes move on. And the sad thing about this community is people heal and sometimes move on. And 2 days ago, I met with Reverend Karyl so I could tell her face to face that after December, I would no longer be an active member and I wouldn't be pledging in 2012. I told her that the healing I had gotten through her and through this community had launched me full swing into my ministry in the world, which was asking of me all my resources for now. And I felt a little like the baby penguin in your teaching stories who leaps from the top of the cliff into the icy waters, or the bird that leaves the nest. And there is sadness in moving on, and great happiness too. You will see me back from time to time, and my holy desire is to establish my work in the world so I have the leverage to come back and provide fundraising events on a Beckwithian scale. The healing that started 4 years ago when I came here was Reverend Karyl, through her talks, through your talks, bringing the reality of oneness to me, brought me right into the reality of oneness. Without that, I couldn't go anywhere. Getting that it's true. And then the classes, Foundations and Roots and other classes brought me deeper, and the sessions with practitioners got me through some hard places. Utilize your practitioners. They know what we're going through, and they know how to get us through it, how to see us through it. So we have a little chant I have to do.
Oh, we
right?
do.
Practitioners know what we're going through, and they know how to see us through it. Practitioners know what we're going through, and they know how to see us through it. Men! Practitioners know what we're going through, and they know how to see us through it. Women! Practitioners know what we're going through, and they know how to get us through it. Practitioners! Scott!
Practitioners know what we're going through. You gotta trust them to intuit.
Thank you. And almost done. 4 years on the Sunday service team has really brought the crucial understanding of the ecstasy of teamwork. And after December, I'm looking for my replacement on the third Sunday team. And in November and December, we'll be training. We have some other openings. There's some new spaces if you want to join us, anyone wants to join us. And see Linda Kaczynski, if anybody, there's other, where's Linda? I know Linda's here. If there are other openings on other teams. And I've been doing the name tags. And if anybody would like to take over this wonderful job of providing name tags, see me. This is an extraordinary community. Thank you for letting me be exactly who I am. Thank you.
So just stay here for a moment. 4 years ago, Lee, when you became a member and you put your rock on the altar, it had the word listening on it. This isn't the exact rock. We're keeping that. But I want to give you this rock with that beautiful word on it, listening. Knowing that the rock is solid and constant, unmoving and dependable, like you're listening. The rock has its source in Mother Earth, just like all of our rocks on that altar when we put them on the altar, meaning that we are one together in family always. And we will call you our family member forever. Blessed be. So, I think we've created a new world here. And I want to reiterate what the new world is. The new world here is that everybody can step down with ease whenever you want to. You do not have to run away if you are burned out. You may talk to Linda Kaczynski or me or any of the people on the Core Council, any practitioner. You may step down with ease, and this is also the opportunity for me to invite those new members of ours, if you're not on a team, to step up, because it is that evolutionary role that makes a community vital. So, good job, everybody. Thomas Edison was one of the most famous inventors, and he traveled in his mind to what he called the land of solutions. He wrote, "I know the world is ruled by infinite intelligence. Everything that surrounds us, everything that exists, proves that there are infinite laws behind it. There can be no denying this fact. It is mathematical in its precision." And so, when he was looking for a solution for one of the inventions that he was working on, he would sit in his particular chair and he would close his eyes and he would do what we would call in modern lingo with the computer. He would surf the mind of the infinite with very, very specific questions. He was doing visioning, just exactly like we do it. And he would ask the question until he got the answer. And so I'm going to leave you with, instead of asking questions like, what can be done to solve this? What is wrong here? What is the best of this bad situation? How can we get through this limiting time? To ask the questions that I will put in your letter this week. What might be a possibility here? What blessing might be available here? How can I hold this circumstance as an opening to something greater? Because it is in the possibility of a new world that a new world emerges. We can't create the new world if we keep asking the questions around circumstances that we don't like. We open to infinite possibility. It's like the infinite mind has infinite possibility. And by our questions, we open to this much, or this much. Not whacking your neighbor, but put your arms like this and say, I am open to this much. Okay, and the inner work is now happening. So I invite you to turn within to that land of solutions where Thomas Edison is probably still there in the infinite presence. And bring to mind a situation of your own. And bring it fully to mind. thinking that these circumstances are challenging for me. But then, almost like you're floating above them, kind of out of your body, just float above the circumstances and ask the question, what wants to happen here? And just holding that, asking the question, what idea is asking to come alive through me? What idea is asking to come alive through me? Another good question. What are the green growing edges of my becoming? What are the green growing edges of my becoming? And simply knowing that whatever circumstances surround you, there is a higher place, a field beyond right and wrong, a field beyond either or, a field of blessing and possibility and opening and connection, oneness and healing, a place, a solution, a pathway that blesses all. And we will find it. Blessed be.
When you learn how to ask the higher questions, you can bypass all acid indigestion. When you stop making the assumption that something can go wrong, and you see that all your challenges are here to make you strong, it's all a blessing. There's nothing else going on. And if you think that something went wrong, that thought is wrong. So it's good to surrender everything you've been thinking that's caused your worry, all that stinking thinking. What if it was true that everything that's happened to you was there to make you brand new, to stretch you out of your comfort zone so you can fly up higher and really come to manifest your deepest heart's desires? So instead of saying, Lee, what did we do wrong to have you go? We say, Lee, it's time to fly higher and to grow. So we graduate you with honors. You're our prima donna, and we'll definitely hold you to those Beckwithian events. Beckwithian events of great financial magnificence. That's when we'll see you again. Or not. But you get my point. There's no need to be out of joint. There's just course corrections so you can see that it's only perfection. It's the only reality. Nothing happening here but God's perfection. Never reason to fear. We're making the connection with the highest good. There's no either or in this neighborhood. It's perfection that's only manifesting. No more adjusting.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Would the ushers please get your baskets ready? And for the rest of us, the tithes, the offerings, the little cards that say I've already pledged automatically, whatever you put in the basket, including your love, hold it now close to your heart. Knowing that this precious community is supported by so much, supported by the infinite presence, supported by the divine mind with all the ideas, supported by each and every love print of every heart in this room and more, and supported by the financial contributions that provide the form of the rent and the salaries and the paper and all of that stuff that is valuable for providing these truths that make our life better. So I give thanks for each heart, each contribution, each being here, knowing that the contributions are pressed down and running over for the benefit of us all. And so it is. Would the ushers please receive the gifts? We have no words.
All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. Love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. Light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me.
And if anyone takes exception to that word need, we just accept. We bless. We open. We accept and bless and open. Accept and bless and open. Just remembering our arms open wide for the gifts of the infinite presence to shower through our lives, blessing us and then going out to bless the world. Blessed be. Okay, honey buns. I want to meet anyone who's new, put my arms around you if you would like that too. I'm going to ask the practitioners to come forward. There's Prosperity Plus to sign up for, a special donation in the name of Gloria if you'd like, and then many, many people to talk to and be family with. And I'm going to call Lee, is it Lee? There's the Lisa right there to pray us out.
And the practitioners surrounding the room, symbolizing the container in prayer that this community is always surrounded in. How good it is. How good it is to be reminded of the truth. Every cell in my body in this moment is vibrating with that truth. The truth so eloquently spoken by Reverend Karyl. The truth that we hear every week. The truth that I know, that I am supported, that I am led, that I am provided for, that I am loved, and that I am love. I am a provider. I am a leader. Oh, every cell in my body relaxes on Sundays in this truth that God is present, that God is so good all the time. And so I simply bless each person here, each person in the sound of my voice, throughout the coming week, the blessings that come, the blessings that are reminded from the words spoken today. And I give great thanks for the movement of Spirit in every life, making things greater, making things lovelier, and creating more love all the time. And I let it be, and so it is.
Fabulous. And so if you would stand for our affirmation and closing song, please repeat after me. I see every circumstance as an opening to greater peace, more love, deeper compassion, broader expansiveness, and increasing abundance of good. The direction of my life